Hello again everybody, I'm Mel from Stocksbridge Guitar Tape. Got something a little bit different for you in today's video. I've had a customer bring in an ESP Ltd guitar with a Floyd-Rose Tremolo on it. He's got a broken string where he's tried to restring the guitar himself and set the Floyd-Rose up, and he's got himself in a bit of a pickle and made a bit of a mess of it. So he's brought the guitar into me for a setup and to put the Floyd-Rose right. So I just thought I'd do a quick video. I'll just show you some short snippets of what I'm doing to set the guitar up. So if you've got your own guitar with a Floyd-Rose Tremolo on it, you'll have some idea how to go about setting it up. They can be tricky, but if you follow the simple procedures, they're not too bad. So let's have a look. We'll go over to the bench and we'll have a look at the guitar and see where I'm at with it.
Here's the guitar, and as you can see, I've already cut the strings. I've loosened the string clamps at the nut end and the string tree bar. Just get rid of these strings. What I like to do now is just check that these machine heads, the nuts and screws, are all nice and tight. Always a good idea to check these nuts and screws. They do have a tendency to work themselves loose. Usually while I'm at it, I will check all the other screws, like the jack socket, the strap buttons, etc. There we go, they're nice and tight now. So now I'm giving the fretboard a good clean with a nice sharp razor blade. If you decide to do this, just be careful if you're not wearing any gloves. This is a great way to get all the grime and rubbish off the fretboard. No need to apply any pressure. Just scrape the razor blade with the grain across the fretboard and then brush it off and give the fretboard a clean. Just give that a brush off now. This guitar's actually pretty filthy in places. Got some pet hairs, so we'll give it a good clean. I'll do the fretboard now. Oh, look at that. That's absolutely filthy. I'll just rub this down with some kitchen towel. And what we need to do now is check the frets for level. I've actually already checked them on this guitar, and these are in pretty good condition. But I'll just show you how to check them. Use a fret rocker, which is this tool. Put it across 3 frets, and if it rocks back and forth, it means that the middle fret of the 3 is high, and it will need filing down and recrowning. So now we need to protect the fretboard with some masking tape. Don't skip this step if you don't want to damage your fretboard, and don't skimp on the masking tape. It's very cheap. You want a couple of pieces on each fret. I'll just do a couple here and then fill in the gaps so you don't have to watch me do every one. You can get some wider tape for the wider frets, or you can just double up using this tape. but this is a necessary process. Even if you're just polishing the frets, you're likely to damage the fretboard. So that's the fretboard and the body masked off, and we're just going to mark each fret with a Sharpie. When we polish these frets, just leave a very thin line right in the middle of the fret. So now we've got those finished, we'll get some 800 grit paper. I'm going to start with 800 grit because these frets are in pretty good condition. I'm just going to go up and down the fretboard. Now we don't want to flatten the fret top, so it's important to keep a round shape when you're doing this. Another way to do it is to wrap it around your finger and do it that way, but I prefer to do it like so. And once I've finished with the 800 grit, I'll move up to finer grits and finish on about 2,500. So there we are, we've got some nice shiny frets. They look like new, and we can take all the tape off now. I've checked the electronics on this guitar and they're fine, so I'm just going to give the pots and the switch a bit of contact cleaner spray. That's all it needs. So that's the pots and switch sprayed. Now these little blocks in the bridge sometimes fall out on these Floyd-Rose Tremolos. So it's a good idea to tape them in place until you're ready for restringing so that you don't lose them. So now I can remove the springs, the tremolo springs. I like to start from a blank slate when I'm doing these Floyd-Roses and take the springs out completely. And I'm going to take this bridge out and clean it. So that's the springs out. So I'm just using some alcohol wipes and a toothbrush to clean out the bridge cavity and to clean the bridge. And I'll give the body a quick once over with the alcohol wipes while I'm at it. Just dry that off. And now I'll check the strap buttons. That one's actually very loose. This one's okay. And I'll check the neck screws while I've got the guitar here. So now we're ready to restring. So the customer wants Ernie Ball 10 to 46s on here. So I won't make you watch me restringing the guitar. I'll be back in a while. So I've blocked the tremolo off and restrung the guitar so I can tune it up almost to pitch now. And then finish setting it up. So there we are, we're just about finished. The guitar's tuned almost to pitch. Just will need some fine tweaking. But yeah, the trem's nice and level now and floating nicely. So I'll finish the setup, just check the action, check the pickups, and this guitar's ready to go. There we are, the guitar's finished. It's playing alright. Well, it would be if I could play one of these things. A bit newfangled for me, but there you go. It's looking a lot cleaner. Tremolo's nice and level now on this, which was the main problem. That's why the customer brought it into me. He'd had a go at setting it up himself and got himself into a bit of a pickle with it. So that's why I thought I'd do this video today. They're not as difficult as people make them out to be, Floyd-Rose Tremolos to set up. All you really need to remember to do, the real secret, is to block the tremolo off in the back here with a 9-volt battery or a piece of wood, anything that will hold it level, and then string the guitar up, tune it nearly to pitch, not quite to pitch, and then just screw these claw screws in until that block falls out. Once the block falls out, you're pretty much set. It's all about getting the spring tension and the string tension balanced. You will have maybe a few more tweaks to do to get it exactly right, but you should be somewhere in the ballpark if you remember to block that tremolo off and get it level with the body, and then just screw those claws in until the block drops out. Once you've got it strung up and tuned up almost, and then just gradually tweak these screws, gradually tweak the tuning. Don't forget to lock these back down, don't over tighten them, and then just fine tune using these. But yeah, I'm very happy with that, how that's turned out. So something a bit different today's video for you. We will be back onto guitar lessons on the next video, so I hope you'll join me for that one. That's all for today, and as ever, please do subscribe and click the little bell if you want to be notified when I upload a new video. But that's all from me today, so bye for now, and I'll see you soon.